Welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It's another beautiful fall day here in Pennsylvania. Absolutely beautiful. I'm out here in the clearing, and as you can see, the maples are starting to turn. We're a couple weeks behind this year. The oaks haven't even started yet, but about 3 weeks, this will look a lot different out here. I mentioned the other day, we want to build a little shed out here, similar to the wood shed, just a little bit bigger. I bought these posts a little over a week ago, and I wanted to get them off the trailer, so I brought them out here with the mini skid. But those are pressure treated posts. They will go in the ground. Everything else will be sawn on the sawmill out of the logs that we have in stock here. So total expense, probably going to be around 600 bucks. That includes the posts, the hardware, and the metal roof. Maybe 700. We'll have to see. Now later on today or tomorrow morning, the mini skid is going to go back to the dealer for a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. They're going to try to figure out what that squeak is in the front end, and also my display screen. I don't know what the problem with it is, but when you start the machine, it just keeps scrolling through every available screen super quick. So you can't make any changes, and you know, you can look at some of the things on the screen, but you got to be like a speed reader, and no matter what you do with the buttons, it doesn't change. So we got to get that fixed and figure out what that squeak is and get that fixed. I mentioned the other day I'm kind of torn on the whole thing because I absolutely love the machine. It's a little powerhouse, but I'm a little concerned with having two minor issues in less than 50 hours of use. I don't like that. The food plot, it's still doing well, holding its own. The deer have been in here all the time. I overseeded it just about 3 days ago, and we got a bunch of rain after I did that. So I'm hoping to get kind of a second growth coming up. But if it wasn't for all the acorns this year, I think the food plot would be destroyed by now by the deer. There's just so much food everywhere this year. It doesn't normally happen. Like I said, there's acorns everywhere, and this right here is keeping them pretty happy. It's really amazing how many deer have been feeding out here, like I said, day or night. I think one thing that may have happened, there's a new housing plan out the road about a half mile from here, you know, as the crow flies. And I think that was a 70-acre site with some woods, with some cover. And, you know, the deer go somewhere, you know what I mean? So I think with all the building that has happened around here over the years, we're getting more and more deer. Actually, there's too many of them. Just a lot of doe. And out here in the clearing, I saw probably 6 or 7 different bucks so far. Nothing real big. And the amount of doe, though, is just staggering. It is. And we honestly need to thin the herd a little bit. Not as many people, not even close, hunt as they used to. And I don't know. We'll see how it all shakes out. But there's a lot of deer. I mean, a lot. But anyway, I have everything I need to get started out here. I got the posts, excavator with the auger on it. There's only one thing I'm missing, and that's time. I always seem to run short on that. We have a lot of different things going on, but the shed is definitely on the list, along with the tongue and groove at the cabin and getting that finished up, among a bunch of other things as well. Right now, I need to head back to the house with the mini skid. I've got a few things that I want to do with this machine before it goes to the dealer, because I'm not sure how long that's going to take. So I'll show you what I have going on here. I had a little pile of topsoil there. This came from back in the woods actually. I used some over by the house, and this whole area in here has always been real rough and kind of torn up. So I just kind of threw it on there real quick. It's a little bit damp. I'll let the sun dry it, and then later on today I'll bring the mini skid up with the power rake, hit this real quick, and we'll get it seeded and get some grass growing here. Otherwise, that pile would have sat there for who knows how long. You know how that goes, you know, it's not hurting anything, so you just kind of leave it there. But it'll be good to get this green before the snow flies. This is one of those little projects that you have to be very careful with because it can get away from you. Because, you know, you start off, you just want to fix up a little area right here. Next thing you know, you've got the entire yard torn up and regraded, and it turns into like a big thing. I'm not going to let that happen. I'll probably hit this with the power rake. I need some over there by the oak tree, and we'll just kind of work everything over that direction, get it smoothed up, all the rocks, the roots out of there, throw some seed on it, and be done. All right, while my topsoil is drying, I came down to the sawmill here. We're going to saw a few fence posts out of these locust logs, and once we do that, I got a question for you guys. I need your input on something before I make a purchase. I'm due for a blade change here on the mill. We're going to take care of that. right, I got some fence posts sawn. I'm sawing these 4x5, which I think is a pretty good size. These are pretty heavy as they are. And the reason I'm doing this is a bit of a test because I got a lead on a bunch of locust. I haven't, we don't have many here on the property, and I don't run across them that often. The ones that we do have are real small, and I just want to see how they came out. This log here, if you saw that one cut, there's a lot of stress in it. It was bowing up, but I mean, these will make good fence posts. I got to figure out what they're worth, what you can buy them for, and then I'll decide if this is something that I want to do. You know, I could probably get a whole log truck load of locust logs, and we could use some fence posts ourselves. So just a little experiment here. Also just put the power rake on the mini skid. That's the Virnig power rake. It's an amazing attachment. It really is. We're going to go up to the house, get with Melissa, and then we'll see how that topsoil is, if it's ready to be worked up. So what I wanted to ask you guys is this: does anyone use Starlink, specifically the Starlink Mini? I'm looking at getting one, and I wanted to get some feedback on it and see how you like it. We have pretty good internet here where we live. When the power goes out, it's always the last thing to come back on. That's not a big deal, but I like that Starlink Mini. I think I could use it at the cabin, which would be great. And if we travel or whatever, we could always use it, and it would be good for emergency preparedness. I could run the Starlink Mini with like my jackery, no problem at all. From what I understand, they only draw about 20 to 25 watts when you're actually using them. You know, when it's kind of in standby, it's less than that. So you could have internet for a very long period of time if the power was out. And a lot of people think, well, who needs internet if the power's out? We do. You know, it's what we do as far as video goes. But down at the cabin, it could be very useful. And another reason I would like to get it, I think it would be pretty cool certain times a year to set up a camera that I could live stream from out in the clearing. There's so much activity that goes on out there with wildlife. It's another reason I want to get one. But I just want to make sure, I think it's about $550 or something for the Starlink Mini, plus $150 a month for unlimited usage is what I'm seeing. So if anyone has the Starlink, the big one, but specifically the new Starlink Mini, let me know how you like it. But I think that's something that we may do. But right now, let's go check with Melissa. She's into something a little bit different here. So I told them you're up to something. It looks like you got a big bowl of chocolate or something. What is that?
It's chocolate pudding.
And how did you make it?
Very good. Okay, I want you to try it.
Here.
No trick. Do you want to eat out of this? You want me to get a bowl for you?
I'll just take a little.
Okay. I have Cool Whip. We'll try it without the spray whip.
All right. This will be off camera in case I. There's the texture. Looks kind of different. It's good.
It is good. I'll try it. This is my spoon.
It's different than what I'm...
Mm-hmm. It's dense. Although it has some pour. I had it in the fridge.
So you made this from scratch?
Mm-mm. Well, kind of.
How?
I made this with 6 boiled eggs, a 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, a 1/3 cup of sugar, and a 1/2 cup of milk.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Eggs?
Boiled eggs. 6 boiled eggs.
Really?
6 hard boiled eggs. And you put them in the mixer. Here we go.
And you got a big old bowl of pudding.
Yeah.
So you could put that in something smaller and have like, I mean, there's like...
I could have. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
There's like 10 servings there at least.
Right. And I was just experimenting. So when I poured it out, I just grabbed this bowl and I actually thought, well, if it's good, I'll eat it all. But that's a lot.
That's a lot of pudding.
Lots of pudding. But
so 6 eggs. Go over there.
6 hard-boiled eggs. A half a cup of milk. A 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. And a 1/3 cup of sugar.
And you just put it on.
And you mix it in your blender until it's all mixed together.
And put it in the fridge to chill.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty impressive.
I didn't believe it myself. That's why I had to make it.
Good idea for food storage. We'll always have eggs. So
yeah, we'll always have eggs.
Some cocoa powder. And a cow for milk.
I need a cow, right?
That's pretty cool. So how's everything else going, Melissa?
Good. It's cooling off. I took the dogs for a walk yesterday and got halfway out the trail and I'm like, let's head back. I was cold and I had a hoodie on.
It was in the 30s this morning.
Was it really?
Mid-30s, like 36.
I think it's only in the high 50s.
Yeah, it's chilly.
Right now. It's beautiful and the leaves are starting to turn colors and some of them are falling, but it's really pretty. It's a nice time of year. I enjoy it.
It is.
I got out some of my pumpkin Halloween decorations and put at the gate.
Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday time of year.
Thanksgiving is one of my favorites. It's a non-gift giving holiday, but yet you can get together with friends and family and eat. I
was at Lowe's the other day and it's filled with Christmas decorations.
It is?
Yeah. 3/4 Christmas and 1/4 Halloween.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I know everyone probably could have an opinion of that. And I probably, you know what? I don't know. If people are going to buy it and I owned all this stuff to sell, I'd be like, sure, put it out in the store. Let's get them.
Yeah.
You know, why not? So I understand let's not rush through Halloween and let's not rush through Thanksgiving. I don't think we're rushing through it. I think you're going parallel with it. You know?
Yeah. Just going with the flow.
That's what I think. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I should have separated this into other containers, but we can have a contest of who eats the most.
That is 5 minutes with the power rake so far. It's incredible. Right now, the hunt man is ready to go somewhere. So we're gonna run out. I'll pick up some grass seed. We'll come back, finish this up, get it seeded and mulched, and it'll be done. So Hunter and I ran out and got some seed and a little bit of straw. I came back. I've got a total of 15 minutes in this with the Virnig power rake. Works amazing. I've got a couple little windrows. I'll just hit them with the landscape rake real quick. We'll seed it and it'll be good to go. Then I got another question for you guys. Anyone that has used a power rake extensively? That'll be my question. What you got there, Melissa?
Nice little pumpkin.
How many did you get?
5.
I got 3 grandkids.
Yeah, and then 1 for Hunter.
All right.
And 1 for me.
It's that time of year.
Yeah. Yeah. I put a few over at the other tree. Then I have some fake ones out at the gate.
We have those wood ones from Bill.
Yeah, that's what I put out at the gate. Because with my free table, I don't want people to assume that other stuff, like decorations that I put out, was free.
Right.
So someone took our recyclable bin.
Yeah, not cool.
He was out with the free table. It just happened to be like recyclable day.
Gone.
It's gone.
All right, I got it all seeded and mulched. We're just gonna wet her down a little bit. I think it's gonna rain some in the next couple days, but I just want to put some on it to help hold the straw down if the wind picks up any. But I would say this will be green in about 2 weeks. So back to the power rake. The more I run this, I probably only have about 4 hours of use on this. I'm learning there's multiple different ways to use it. You know, I go forward and I go backward, and I always alternate the drum. In other words, if I'm going forward, the drum is kind of going against itself, and backwards the same way, and it works fantastic. This angles as well. I didn't need it for that little section right there, but that is great if you're doing a big area. You can windrow all those rocks and debris off the one side and just keep chasing them over. But my question is, for guys that have run these quite a bit, is this. Say you had a real big lawn that was all overtaken with weeds. Wouldn't it be easier just to power rake the entire thing and reseed it instead of spraying a bunch of chemicals and reseeding over and over again, trying to get rid of those weeds? I've never done that before, but that thing works really fast, and you know, it'll pull that sod right off of there, and it kind of busts the dirt out of it, and you can windrow all the grass and roots out of the way. So I don't know if anybody does that or not. And I think, like I said, if you're just trying to get rid of all the weeds and you wanted a nice lawn, I think it would be the ticket for that, because not only does it get rid of all that stuff, it also loosens the soil up, gives you a real nice seed bed. So it's kind of like aerating. It's doing everything at once. I don't know, but if you've ever done that, just kind of reclaimed a lawn with one, I guess I should say. But I think it would work really well for that. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. I appreciate y'all being here, and I'll catch you on the next one.